For thousands of years, ancient cultures have described creatures that should not exist. What if the legends were real? Across centuries, people from every corner of the world have described beings that defy logic, creatures whispered about in forests, mountains, and the depths of the sea. Some call them myths. Others swear they've seen them with their own eyes. Tonight, we return into the realm of forgotten beasts, ancient fears, and unbelievable eyewitness accounts. Here are 7 mythical creatures you won't believe might be real. 1. The Kapre. Deep in the thick forests of the Philippines, villagers speak of a silent watcher, the Kapre, a giant as tall as a tree, with skin like dark bark and eyes glowing like embers in a dying fire. It sits high in the branches, perfectly still, as if carved from the trunk itself, watching anyone who passes below. For generations, farmers walking home at night describe the same thing: a sudden stillness in the air, the feeling of being watched, and a faint glow blinking from the treetops. Many recall the smell of burning leaves drifting from above. They say the Kapre smokes rolled up tobacco made from forest plants, a strange, sweet scent that lingers long after the creature disappears. One lumber worker from the 1960s told a story that shook his entire town. While resting beneath a massive acacia tree, he noticed ashes falling around him, as if someone above was flicking away burnt tobacco. When he looked up, he saw 2 red eyes staring back, unmoving, just staring. The worker said the figure was so still, he thought it was part of the tree until it blinked. Scientists try to explain these stories as misidentified monkeys or exhaustion-induced hallucinations in dense forests. But locals reject this. They insist the Kapre is real, a guardian, a trickster, a silent observer who watches travelers, but rarely shows itself. And if you ever walk alone in a Philippine forest and feel a warm breeze and a glowing ember above your head, they say that's the Kapre acknowledging your presence. 2. The Kraken of northern waters. In Scandinavia, there is a monster older than any map, the Kraken. Fishermen feared it more than storms, more than ice, more than the crushing cold of the northern sea. They described a creature so massive that ships mistook its back for an island until it moved. Tentacles thick as tree trunks, suction cups the size of shields, a body so vast it could pull an entire vessel beneath the waves in seconds. In the 1700s, a Norwegian captain wrote in his journal that he saw a moving mountain rise from the ocean. At first, he believed it was land until the water around it began to churn with enormous tentacles. His entire crew confirmed the sighting. They fired cannons in fear, and the creature sank, leaving whirlpools so powerful they nearly capsized the ship. Some historians believe that sailors encountered giant squids but exaggerated their stories out of terror. Others propose volcanic activity, underwater mountains rising for moments before sinking again. But deep-sea researchers know one thing: the ocean still hides species we've never seen. And in the darkest waters of the North Atlantic, something enormous leaves scars on. Whales and drags entire fishing lines down into the abyss. Some sailors whisper that the Kraken never died. It simply waits in the deep. 3. The Tikbalang. In Southeast Asia, hikers dread meeting the creature known as the Tikbalang, a being with the head of a horse and the body of a tall, thin man. It stands in the mist-covered mountains, often motionless, observing travelers. Some say its legs bend backward like a deer, and it moves with impossible speed. The Tikbalang's most feared ability is its power to confuse travelers. People swear they walk for hours only to realize they've circled back to the same tree, the same rock, the same trail, even with a working compass. One mountaineer recalled that he followed his map perfectly, yet every path he took led him back to a moss-covered archway of bamboo he had passed earlier. After the 4th loop, he heard soft hoofsteps behind him. When he turned, nothing was there, just fog. But the sound continued, always behind him, never closer. Psychologists explain this as disorientation from dense forests, humidity, and fatigue. But villagers insist the Tikbalang delights in confusing outsiders. Some say you can escape the creature only by turning your shirt inside out, a strange ritual. Said to break its illusion. To this day, hikers claim the mountains hold more than wildlife. Something tall, something fast, something waiting in the fog. 4. The Wolpertinger. In the forests of Germany, people whisper about a creature born of mismatched parts, the Wolpertinger. Part rabbit, part bird, sometimes antlers, sometimes fangs. A creature stitched together by nature in ways that shouldn't make sense. Hunters tell stories of twilight encounters when the forest is quiet and the air feels thick. They describe seeing a small animal with glassy eyes staring at them from atop logs or rocks, perfectly still, too still, until it darts away with unnatural speed. Many believe the legend came from old taxidermists who combined different animal parts to amuse travelers. Yet long before that, local folklore spoke of mysterious hybrid animals seen, only briefly, at dusk. A hiker in Bavaria once claimed he saw a winged rabbit leap across the path in front of him. Not jump, but glide. He stood frozen as the creature disappeared into the underbrush without a sound. Scientists suggest optical illusions, tricks of the fading light. But the legend persists, especially in Germany's oldest woods, where shadows play strange games. Sometimes myths begin with exaggeration. Sometimes they begin with something real that no one could explain. 5. The Encantado. Deep in the Amazon, long before modern cities rose, tribes told stories of the Encantado, dolphins that could shed their skins and walk on land as humans. By day, they swim as pink river dolphins, playful and curious. But at night, they are said to transform into tall, mysterious strangers wearing white clothing and hats to hide their dolphin blowholes. Villagers describe hosting celebrations where unfamiliar guests appear charming, unusually, graceful, and always drawn to music. At the end of the night, these strangers vanish, and the next morning, the same villagers spot a pink dolphin circling near the riverbank, watching. One fisherman swore he saw a man walking into the forest, only to dissolve into ripples as he stepped into the river. Another family claimed a mysterious visitor entered their hut asking for water, and hours later, they found dolphin tracks leading back toward the riverbed. Biologists explain Encantado stories as symbolic tales honoring the intelligence of river. Dolphins known for their playfulness and human-like curiosity. But Amazonian tribes maintain that some dolphins are more than animals. They say the river holds magic older than language, and these shapeshifters still slip between worlds when the moon is high. 6. The Aswang. In the remote villages of the Philippines, the Aswang is the most feared creature of all. By day, it appears human, quiet, kind, blending perfectly into the community. But when night falls, it changes, skin stretching, limbs twisting, eyes turning hungry and predatory, wings unfolding with sickening cracks. In the 1950s, entire villages reported sleepless nights. Residents claimed something circled their rooftops, a creature whose wings made almost no sound. Families sealed their doors with garlic and salt, terrified of the faint scratching outside their windows. One elder recounted hearing her name whispered outside at 2 a.m. in the voice of her sister, who lived miles away. But when she looked out, she saw a shadow hunched on her roof, tapping her window, softly as if mimicking human fingers. Folklorists explain Aswang stories as the result of disease outbreaks, wartime paranoia, or unidentified animals. But that doesn't explain why multiple villages reported the same. Descriptions: the same wings, the same tapping, the same whispering voices. To this day, people still claim the Aswang prowls the forest. Some say it watches families for weeks before choosing a victim. Others believe the creature never left. We just learned to ignore the shadows outside our windows. 7. The Thunderbird. Among Native American tribes, legends speak of an enormous bird whose wings create thunder and whose eyes flash lightning. The Thunderbird is said to live high among storm clouds, descending only when the world is out of balance. Throughout the 1800s, people across the American West claimed to see massive silhouettes, crossing the sky wings wide enough to eclipse the sun. In 1890, 2 cowboys reported shooting a gigantic winged creature in Arizona. Newspapers described its wingspan as wider than a small plane and its body unlike any known bird. Some claimed a photograph existed showing the creature pinned against a barn, but the image mysteriously vanished. Skeptics say these stories were born from misidentified condors, optical illusions, or newspaper hoaxes. But sightings continue even today. In Alaska, bush pilots have reported seeing enormous shadows gliding over mountain ranges, far too large to be eagles. In rural Texas, a school teacher once described a creature with leathery wings soaring above her car for nearly a minute. Most dismiss these accounts, but some legends refuse to disappear, and the sky is large enough to hide something extraordinary. Some mythical creatures exist only in stories. Others live in memories, sightings, and unexplainable encounters that echo across generations. And sometimes, reality stretches further than myth. One thing remains certain: our world still hides mysteries in forests, mountains, and oceans waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey into the unknown.